He's good. You're good. You're good.
Good.
Count 10 one more time.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all I need. That's okay. Yeah.
Starting off with number 7, Zach Burmaster.
Oh, you shut it off?
No, I didn't shut it off.
Number 8, Nick Ricknick.
I just did, but it was on. It just there's no signal right now.
Ethan Norton.
You just reset it.
It'll come.
It's the other number 10, MJ Newton. Number 11, Keelan Parker. Number 13, Keon Grayson.
You just get rid of this fucking monitor.
Make some noise for number 20,
I think they might want graphics.
Yeah, lose connection.
Okay.
How about number 20? AJ Zatoon. Number 91, Khalil Sadiku. And rounding out the graduating class, wearing number 53 tonight, Jared Stewart. Football fans, that is your St. Clair Saints graduating class. How about a nice round of
It
applause?
just flashed on and off.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise if you are able and remove your hats to the playing of our national.
Welcome to Acumen Stadium here on the campus of St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario for the Ontario Football Conference finale between the home and the visiting Quinte Skyhawks. My name is Bidia Kwas. I'm here presenting this game for We Digital, and it should be in favor of the Saints, as most OFC fans would probably suspect. You have the defense is on a 5-game skid. Quinte opened the season with 2 scheduled. It was supposed to be the season opener for both teams, but Quinte was unable to play that first game and scheduled to Thanksgiving weekend, and as such it is being played here right now on what is a cool evening in Windsor. Record down south here in Canada. That being said, it looks like the St. Clair Saints are going to get possession to open up the game as Quinte will in a few minutes' time. From a playoff perspective, just to update everyone, this game really has no bearing on the standings as wrapped up the number 1 seed, and they will be hosting Ottawa next week. Game time will be presented to you at some point during the broadcast today, and Quinte is eliminated from playoff contention, which may very well have contributed to just a smaller than normal roster. I don't know if there were some injuries or such, but my depth chart shows that Quinte traveled with approximately 30. And the whistle has been blown in. We have the opening kickoff about to take place. and kicking, and he will serve a double duty as kicker and defensive. Ute, who works up the right sideline, crosses the 35-yard line, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at approximately the 37-yard line, and that's where the home Saints are going to scrimmage for the first time this evening. And if you only hear one voice this evening, that is correct. I will be serving as both the analyst and the play-by-play. And now you see the Saints are going to have the ball on the right hash, and they're going to bring what looks like a new grouping of offensive linemen. Different positions. Most of them are playing from last week and previous weeks, but just a few new position changes. Soja takes a shotgun snap. He bobbles it a little bit, drops it, and he was straight quarterback run off the left, maybe picked up about 3 yards, but the play was not destined for total success considering it was a fumbled snap off the get-go. Probably could have got about 6 or 7 yards if he didn't have to retrace his, but nonetheless a positive coming out of a missed snap, and the inclement weather might be coming a little bit later as they're calling for some rain, but as it stands now there is no rain on the field. 3 quarterbacks left, single back in the backfield, low snap, quarterback picks it up in the B seam, who pushes his way forward across midfield for a first down. Just the Celtic quarterback, he shows off his big arm quite routinely, but in this case scenario he just wants to be able to get those underneath routes, move the sticks, force the defense to come up a little bit, and then when he gets the shot down the field. First and 10, 53-yard line going in, 3 receivers to the quarterback's left, 2 to the right, single back. Inside run to Marshall, works off the left, and he bounces a little bit, gets a good push from his offensive line, and Doyle Marshall finds his way across the 50 to the 45-yard line, and that's going to bring up a second down and short. Doyle Marshall has had a very, very good season, despite sharing some carries and an early season injury which prevented him from playing in a game. He has had rock solid numbers all year long, and he was projected to be one of the top backs, and indeed him and I believe it would be LJ Dyer from London are probably the only ones that I would suspect are the top backs in the conference that could challenge for All-Stars and even CJFL players at the national level. Inside run to Marshall once again, but now we get a blitzing linebacker. A nice play by number 66 from the visitors as he shoots right through the B seam. And that's Berkeley Banilevich who comes in, and that turns into a third down, and it appears that Coach LaChance is going to make the prudent choice here and bring out the punt team. And they are going to be punting into the wind to start this quarter here. So that's a good start for Quinte. They settled in nicely. They gave up a couple short plays, nothing super explosive, and now they're going to get the ball back. Punt is off, just being hung up in the wind as it starts to bounce and lands at around the 25-yard line. Looks like we have a no yards on the bounce back as the return man gets gobbled up right around the 22-yard line and then driven back to the 18, but the flag is unquestionably going to be a no yards, and you're going to have that moved up 5 yards, and you're going to see Quinte get their first scrimmage play from, I would suspect, right around the 27, 28-yard line. And we're just waiting for the official call from head referee wearing the white cap, Alex Jemmy, and he's just going to look at that and say, well, the ball was caught and first fielded at approximately the 24-yard line, and they're going to move up the 5 yards and give them the scrimmage play. And here's the call.
No yards, penalty charge to St. Clair. That's a 5-yard penalty. They'll move the ball up.
And there you see Alex Jemmy making the official call, and he's about to blow this play right in. And now we're ready for play. Quinte comes out with a single back shotgun, 3 receivers to the quarterback's right. We have an early motion, and it looks like a flag as the ball is on the ground here. I would suspect that this is offside against the Saints. It looked like the end man on the line of scrimmage to the offensive looked like he jumped, so I'm assuming that's going to be the call, and we're going to move up 5 yards. And that is indeed the indication. You have a 5-yard walk-off. It's going to be 1st and 5. And unfortunate, because you're on the left end and you really weren't impact on that play. It would have been a loss of 3 because it's between the quarterback and the running back. Again, Quinte comes out. It looks like they have a double tight set. Twins to the top side. Single back. Play with the grain to the left. Has a nice, good 4 or 5 yard carry. He's going to be real close to the 50. Maybe get a couple first downs and flip the field right off the get-go while they have the wind. Keeps their defense fresh and allows them to stay in this game longer than what most people. It is indeed indicated a first down. You have 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. And once again, Quinte's wide side of the field, motions across third receiver into the backfield now. Little offset, gives it to the first back, the fullback who pushes forward behind the offensive line to the right. A good surge forward, and it looks like a solid 5 yards, if not 6-yard gain, and that's number 83 for the visitors, Josh Beal. Listed as a receiver on my depth chart, but given that they are only traveled with 30, you're going to probably see some players have multiple purposes, playing both ways. And this is number 8, Patrick Anderson, the quarterback. Twins to his far top side. Now they motion the wing back across, they fake inside, and they just dump it off to that by the Saints as they come up and force the play, and that's number 21 on the initial, Gami Kazadi, who makes the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. And it appears that the quarterback is remaining on the field, at least with the wristband I do see, and I stand corrected. It looked like my depth chart says it's number 8 is the quarterback, but it's number 7, Steven Anderson, not Patrick Anderson, who I believe was in on that last play. But they do have the punt unit out. And the punt is off, almost blocked. A nice booming kick away from the return men. The ball sails out of bounds, and I would suspect it's going to scrimmage inside the 25-yard line. And yes, that's the 24-yard line is now the official mark-off. And that's one of the first times all year I've actually seen what looked like a design kick, even though it was almost blocked. The punter worked his way to the left hash, and the protection wasn't great, but he got a nice kick with the wind and away from any of the return men. The return men have been fantastic for the Saints this year. Tristan Rutherford and Ty Calhoun were back, and both have had some really, really good games and have some good numbers supported throughout the year. And this time they just limit that by kicking it out of bounds. And we have a quarterback change right now, and this is not uncommon. It's Matthew Gannett now under center. Motion a man across. They give it inside to the lead back, and they find a hole, and that's Doyle Marshall, who works his way across the 30 to about the 33.5-yard line. So you're going to have about 2nd down and 1 right now. Just a little power game. For those tuning in maybe for the first time, wondering why after the first series you see one quarterback to the next. Both quarterbacks have tremendous stats. Both quarterbacks are at the top of the conference, respectfully leading like the entire league in essence. If you combine them, it's not even close for the most part. That being said, both these quarterbacks bring a skill set to the game, and Matthew Gannett's going to bring them back up under center. Motion across from number 4, Lewis. They give it to their power back underneath, and then you see the nifty feet from number 32 as he jumps over top of some people. And that there is Jarrell Pappin, who works his way just on a little inside fullback dive, if you will, and he works his way across the 45-yard line to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 now. We're about halfway through the opening quarter here, no score. Again, we're at St. Clair College at Acumen Stadium here for the Ontario Football Conference presented by We Digital. So we got a tight end on the field. Twins to the right here for Matt Gannett. Lewis motions across, and they just run a little bit of a counter-action play, and you see Marshall Doyle press the hole, and he breaks a couple tackles, works his way right up the middle. A late flag comes in. It does look like a Quinte player's helmet came off. I don't know if it was ripped off, and I don't know if that flag is associated with it, but usually when an umpire throws a flag like that, it's in the area of either one of two things, a face mask or a hold, and we'll wait for the official call, as that was about a 16-yard run, pressing it into the Quinte end of the field at the 44-yard line. Short conference, sometimes that might be just discussing the options with Quinte, because it looks like they're only talking to the Quinte players, which I would suspect then it is against the Saints. And now we'll get the official call from Alex Jemmy. Okay, so it appears that it is against Quinte, and it is going to be a walk-up, and the indication was looked like too many men on the field then, and if that isn't the case, you get the play and the walk-up, and you're going to now have a first down and 10 from the 33-yard line going in. Doyle Marshall works his way out of the backfield. Now they're just running a little bubble screen, a little smoke screen to Darius France, who works through some of his blockers, crosses the 25-yard line before he's tackled at around the 22-yard line. Now crossing officially to the 20-yard line, and you're going to have a first and 10. A little bit of a smoke screen. Darius Francis has a good year, very explosive, is battling some little nagging injuries, but this freshman here has had a great season, and he has been explosive, and it's just a bright future for him. A couple personnel changes right now. They take number 32 Pappin out of the field, and they bring in another receiver. So Coach LaChance opts to spread the field out right now. He's going to go single back 3-by-2 to the quarterback's right. Gannett calls for the snap, sprints out to the right, sets his feet, throws back towards number 4, and that's Javay Lewis, and he, not the best of throws, but probably catchable, and they had something brewing there because it looked like all the flow was coming to the right. They do just a little bit of a throwback screen set, and unfortunately, if you're a Saints fan, that falls incomplete, and it's going to bring up second down and 10. Now, with this strong wind and some of the struggles that the Saints have had in the field goal game, not necessarily a super strong leg, you might look at this and say maybe they're in 3-down territory here. Gannett gets a stop, sprints out to his left, has plenty of time to set his feet. Now he decides he's going to scramble and see if he can work his way up the left sideline for what amounts to a first down, and he's awfully close. He gets diving towards the left sideline, and it looks like the mark is going to be about a yard short at the 11-yard line. And that is a credit to the back-end secondary coverage because no receiver opened up, but also the O-line that set the edge and allowed Gannett to work his way up the left hash, and he outraced one guy. And at this point in time, Coach LaChance sends in a couple bigger bodies. Fullback and tight end come in. Rutherford and Yuyut come out, and that's going to put them in a 3rd down and 1. I stand corrected. It looks like they marked the ball exactly at the 10-yard line, and they have a 1st and goal situation. Double tight, I, quarterback under center, old school power set. Inside 32 type ISO zone running play, and we have a flag on the field. Again, the head umpire or head referee throws that flag. You're probably looking at a hold in that area. And that is not. The indication is, and this is something that has been removed in the rule book, you have a low block. It looked like the defensive lineman submarined on the offensive lineman. And from a player safety perspective, you cannot initiate contact below the knee. And it's a dangerous situation like that. Not only are you chopping somebody out, the pile-ups that go there, people's knees get rolled up, and then next thing you know, you have people piling on top of people and falling on backs, heads, necks. So that's been removed from the game. So this walk-off is going to bring the ball all the way to the 1-yard line. And for those that don't know, it's not a half the distance. That's a major foul. That major foul is walked off the full distance and not just the 5. They go the 9. They can't go the 15, so the ball's going to scrimmage at the 1. Double tight eye once again. Gannett's going to go under center, and the ready for play is blown in.
Why we do that to ourselves?
Gannett turns around, hands the ball off to Doyle Marshall, and that's just easy. 33 type ISO play, just a lead blocker, lead back. You go to the left side, and he hits the hole, and he walks into the end zone, and that opens up the score, 6-0 for the home team. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special there, just old school football. Helped by a couple penalties, the too many men on the field, and of course the latest one on the low block, which sounds weird when it's a defender, but that is a cut block, and they're not allowed to do that on either side of the ball or on special teams. With 4:51, we have the ensuing kick coming on. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, kick is good, and that extends the lead to 7-0, 4:51 in the first quarter. And now this is one of these situations where I know Coach LaChance, speaking to him early, they have to execute on every special team. Most of the time in a game like this, you're going to try to get some of your second depth players to play on your offense and on your defense. The game from a standings perspective, once again, doesn't really mean much, but your special teams, these guys are the guys, they don't get 25, 30 kickoffs a game. You got to give them, if they're going to have their 5 or 6, and that's quite a bit, you have to execute. So these guys have to be ready to play, and they have to get their reps here. So you're looking for perfect execution here as you prepare for the playoffs. And that's Preston Knight with the kick. Wins hanging that ball up. It's a short kick. It's about to roll out of bounds. It is indeed a procedural play as the ball rolls out of bounds. Not a bad idea. I like the spot that ball goes to. If it takes a dead bounce or bounces back to the inside, it limits any kind of return, especially with the wind hanging that ball up just a little bit. So now what's going to happen is the ball was out of bounds at the 31-yard line, but they're going to opt to scrimmage from the 40-yard line, which is the penalty on an illegal procedure as indicated by Mr. Jemmy. And the ready for play is now in. Double tight, twins to the top, motion across, jet sweep action. Inside handoff to the running back, and he's gobbled up at the point of attack right away. No gain, and that looked like it was number 52 for the home team, Carl Fabre, with the initial point of contact on the tackle. And once again, it is number 7 at quarterback for this Quinte Skyhawks, Steven Anderson. Second and 10. 40-yard line. Once again, same formation, double tight, twins to the quarterback's strong side, his right side. Empties the backfield, tries to flare it out to the running back, and it's just behind him just enough where it falls incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. Nice concept, nice idea. They're just kind of trying to do a little bit of a flare out. Had he caught it, I think he still would have been short. There was a defender there to make the tackle. But trying to get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback quickly against a pressure defense is never a bad thing. However, indeed, it falls incomplete, and it's going to bring up a punting situation. And once again, I would suspect they're going to angle punt. The punter, number 11, did a really good job of that last time. And Tegan Good is serving as the kicker. Oh, high snap over his head, so now he's just going to try to scramble. Left-footed kick. What a tremendous athletic play to at least get that off. He actually was able to handle that thing. And I believe he is left-footed. He did scramble last time, so it's not his weak leg, but he was able to at least handle that ball and at least get it off, so they averted complete disaster. But that snap was really high, and Good was able to come down with that as he now puts his gloves, fixes them up, and he has to go to his deep back position as he's one of the players who seems to be playing multiple roles for the short-handed Quinte Skyhawks. 3:33 and counting in this opening quarter, 7-0 on a cool evening here in Windsor, Ontario. The Saints are working once again into the wind, and you see Maurice Soja is the quarterback once again. Alternating series right now. And it looks like the Saints were not ready for this. They have linemen and players not in position, and now you have a time count violation. It clearly, guys just were not ready, and these are the things that I know Coach LaChance is absolutely going to lose his marbles over. You get the ball back, you can't have that. You must remain engaged in the game. Third down, a punt. Offensive lineman not on the field. It's just unacceptable. You have to be crisp in all of those things. So I know that will be addressed by Coach Rice. Soja comes out 2-by-2, offset with the fullback to his right. Doyle Marshall, pistol set behind him. Straight drop back, looks down the field, and he's going to amp one up over the top, and it looks like it was underthrown as the wind really got a hold of that. If the deep defender didn't slip, there's a chance it was going to be intercepted, as Javé Lewis was the intended target up that left sideline, but that ball just really did not have much of a chance as it was hanging up into this really strong wind. Second down and 10. And as I say, it's a strong wind. It just up in the area where I'm broadcasting, it just blustering right into my face right now. So it is a cooler evening, and this is going to be an issue for either team as they go into the wind if they're going to try to get some regularity in the passing game. 3-by-1 to the quarterback's left. Pistol, quarterback draw, and again, time count violation. Just taking forever to get set. So now you're going to back him up. It's going to be 2nd and 20. They'll reset. We have 2:36 left in the game. Function. Maybe it wasn't reset properly, so that it probably expired a lot sooner than it should have. Not 100% sure why that happens, but sometimes it just does. We always have a little human error built into these things. But either way, quarterback is now in. Now we have the ready for play set, so both clocks should wind down as they do. 2:30 and counting in this opening quarter. 2-by-2, fullback to the quarterback's left. Excuse me. And now we have a deep crossing route, and it looked like it was just above the head of number 6, the intended target, Darius France. In this case, they ran just some sort of little rub push from the slot to the fade, and then the outside receiver came back underneath. I actually think Soja might have missed a deep shot there because it looked like it was number 80 going up the right sideline without too much presence from the defensive back. Ty Calhoun looked like that. But the punt team comes out, and these are quick snaps now. Ready for play. There's the whistle. Snap is up. And I thought the ready for play came, and then everyone just stopped. Maybe the snap was just a little too quick. Here we go. Reset the ball. Remark. 2:12. Once he blows it in, snap comes. There it is. Kick is off. A spiraling kick, but angled out of bounds. Not the best of kicks. The wind was turning that over. I would suspect this will be right around the 45-yard line. We're just waiting for the head referee to mark it off, and yeah, that is indeed the case. It is going to be spotted at the 45-yard line. What maybe I would like to see Quinte try to do is, why not? You have the wind. Drop back, take a shot. Maybe a defender slips. Maybe you just have your one player who has just those afterburner effects. 2 minutes left in the game, or excuse me, in the opening quarter, and you have a one-score game here. Double tight, twins to the top, single back for Anderson. The wing comes across, and now we looks like we have some procedural things. I would gather that the receiver was offside, a little bit too far across the line. They give you a little bit of a buffer. The indication. So a 5-yard. The downs box is indicating 2, but it should be first down, and they're correcting that. Inside run, and just gobbled up. Just gobbled up by the defense there. Not much happening there for the running back again. He's listed on our depth chart as a receiver. Number 83, Josh Beal. Not much push from the offensive line there, and the defensive force unit was able to just roll that in and take that away, bringing up a second down and long. So far, all the throws have been little flat releases. I'm just curious if this is indeed a backup quarterback. On my depth chart, he's not listed as a quarterback. It's another Anderson, maybe his brother, who is the actual quarterback, number 8. But I got Anderson, Patrick is listed as the quarterback. However, we give an inside handoff once again, looking to break some tackles, and that looks like it's Beal once again. And nothing doing off the left edge of the offense, and that's big number 83, Nick Carter, who gobbles that up for maybe a 1-yard gain. Actually, as it's marked, it's a no gain. And that's going to bring up third down and 15. And we are ready for play. Punt unit is out. Let's see if the snap is good and the protection's a little better. Better snap. Kick is up. Kick is good. Kick is deep. It drives the return man deep. And that is number 88, who comes up there and makes the run back. Number 89. And on my depth chart, that's Daniel Bumbaco, who crosses the 35 to around the 39. No officially marked. Looks like the sticks are set at the 40-yard line. Right hash, and that's where the offense is going to set. And once again, alternating quarterbacks. We have Matthew Gannett back on the field here. First time we'll see him in the spread set with 3 receivers to his right. Doyle Marshall in the backfield. Javay Lewis motions across. Jet sweep to Yayut, who finds a little bit of a running seam up the left sideline. He turns on the afterburners, works up the left sideline, outside the numbers, across the 50-yard line to the 48-yard line. And that's going to give him a first down as he crosses midfield and sets up the Saints on what was the last play of the first quarter. And it's a first down, Saints. As you see in the graphic right now, we have Saturday, October 14th, 6:50 p.m. That is going to be the game, the conference semifinal, where the Saints are going to host the Ottawa Sooners. That's the end of the first quarter. 7-0 for the home St. Clair Saints.
So they reset the field. Just want to remind everybody that the Quinte Stadium has a no return policy. If by chance you have to leave the field, you will not be allowed back in with your ticket.
Saints scrimmage. Throw the little flare out, and that is again Javay Lewis, who just drops the ball that time. And he had some blockers out in front of him. They have that little smoke screen where they're bringing out the running back, they're bringing out the linemen. They had 3 linemen ready to converge on the defensive secondary of the Quinte Skyhawks, and just nothing to do when you drop the ball there, and that's just not common. Relatively good hands for the Saints, number 4, and this just does not come down with it. Gannett, 3 to his left. You get double motion across the formation, and they try the jet sweep, and this time it's to number 14, and it looks like it's Rutherford who works his way, but a flag comes out. I would suspect it looked like, from my vantage point, that we had a holding call, and that is indeed the indication. If the play stands, it's going to be 3rd down and about 5. If they opt to take the penalty, we'll go back to the line of scrimmage, and we'll make it 2nd down and 20. And we're just waiting for the official call. And they are opting to exercise the right to apply the penalty. And under normal circumstances, I would suspect that's the right decision. 3rd down and 4 on your side of the field. Your odds are defending a 2nd down and 20 are better. Let's see if it pays off for the Quinte Skyhawks as Lewis motions across the formation. He has 3 receivers to his right, Gannett deep drop, and now they're trying to set up a little screen of Doyle Marshall. He has some blockers out in front. If he makes one man miss, he could find his way up the left sideline, and he sure did make that one guy miss, and now it looks like he's going to into the end zone as he had a convoy of blockers in this case scenario. It was not the best looking initially to start, as Doyle Marshall got a little bit further down the field than I would have suspected initially, but Matthew Gannett did a good job of finding and just floating a little touch pass to his running back, and there was only really one defender there. My eyes told me that if Doyle Marshall could make him miss, he could work his way up that left sideline, and that is indeed the case. With 14:02 left in the first half, the Saints extend their lead to 13-0. The extra point is getting set, but we do have an injured player on the field right now, so we're going to have to hold this play up, as it looks like we have one of the defensive linemen for the Quinte Skyhawks. It looks like big number 98. I'll get his number for you. Liam Carnegie, and he's being helped off by the trainers.
I think it's 98.
And he is being helped off right now, and Liam Carnegie looks like he's able to put some weight on it, so that's a good sign considering they only traveled with 30, so hopefully he's able to go. He's walking out with any assistance from the trainers, putting full weight on him, so now we'll get that extra point coming up from Preston Knight. Snap, kick, good. All the mechanisms in place for that, extending the lead to 14-3. Excuse me, 14-0. With 14:02 left on the game clock for the first half here. And despite it being a relatively cool evening, there's a fair crowd here. Some people might have suspected that you might not have as many people here, considering they feel that this should be a one-sided game, and it is sort of playing out like that right now early in the second quarter. But that being said, respect to both teams. You got to come out here. You got to support these players. They're coming out here. I know it's the last game of the season for the Quinte Skyhawks, so they're going to want to come out here and sort of put together their best effort, find some final film, maybe put a few stats up there, wrap things up for the season so they can build next year. Again, they're only been in the league a couple years now, so they're at least moving in the right direction. The season gave them 2 early wins, but they're just on the letdown right now as they're on 5-game skid, as a deep kick pins the return man inside his own 5-yard line, but he makes one guy miss as he's wrapped up eventually at the 20-yard line. And that's a pretty good return, considering that kick really drove him back and he had to field it at around his own 3-yard line. And that was a strong kick from Preston Knight, who was able to use the wind to his advantage as he drove that ball deep. First and 10, 14-0. Let's see if they're going to try to establish any kind of passing game here. However, they are into a strong wind right now. Double tight, motion across into the backfield, twins to the left, 2 guys in the backfield. try to run a little bit of an option. Quarterback keeps it. First gets body checked before he's eventually tackled. So they went motion across into the backfield. They go twins to the top side. They try an option to the short side of the field, and to no avail, as it ends up being a tackle for a loss, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 13 from the 17-yard line. And Coach Morency told me these several players sort of rotating through in some new sort of alignments, new positions, trying to find that perfect recipe as they get their start to the playoffs next week, as Ottawa comes down the 401 to Windsor next week, next Saturday, and it'll be presented here by We Digital. And that's just a convoy inside running play, and it looked like there was about 3 defenders that just 2 from the outside and hard push from the inside by number 91, and that was Khalil Sadiku, who came in and they gobbled that up, and now you're going to have to punt into the wind from your own 15 as you lost 2 more yards there. Would not be surprised with 12:29 left in this quarter if you force the safety here, and Quinte just takes a step back into the end zone and concedes and forces the Saints to get back to their own 35-yard line, because I can't picture any scenario where this punt gets anywhere near the Saints' territory, as the return men are set at the 53-yard line of the Quinte Skyhawks. And that is indeed the case. The punter just goes back, takes a knee. That's good once again. And now you'll see the offense scrimmage at the 35-yard line. And for those that do understand Canadian football, they know that you used to be able to opt to exercise the option of forcing a team to kick after a safety. Well, we all know that the kicking game, the kickoff game, is one of the more violent collisions. You got men running down the field full speed. So from a player perspective, safety perspective, they've implemented a new rule. After a safety, it's an automatic scrimmage from the 35-yard line. And that's why, because in this win, I would have suspected that Coach LaChance last year would have forced them to kick from their own 35-yard line, knowing his return men. But now they don't have the choice. They end up scrimmaging, and Soij is now at quarterback, 3 receivers to his right at the 35-yard line, ball at the left hash. Snap comes, looks down the field, comes back to his left, patiently waits, has some protection, drops back, pointing some direction, and now he decides he's going to scramble and take as much as he possibly can. Big, strong runner himself, and he works his way across the 45-yard line, and it looks like it should be a first down, and that is indeed the indication. We have a first down at the 46. Good protection. Quarterback scanned the right, looked to his left, came back to the middle, didn't see anything, scrambled to his left, but good back-end coverage on the secondary. They didn't give anything over the top. They were looking for a home run ball. Then he came back underneath looking for some sort of drag across the middle of the field, and there was nothing there. So credit to the Quinte Skyhawks, who were able to at least take away 2 and 3 reads from the quarterback. O-line did a nice job for Soija, and then he scrambled on his own, showing off his athleticism. 3 receivers to his right. Snap comes, steps up, throws a little crossing route, and that was Jave Lewis once again who drops it, but it's just weird because right behind him was Yuyut, and both receivers were just in the area, so I don't necessarily know if there was some sort of option route for Yuyut to sort of cut his off and squat there, because it looked like he stopped, and I thought that might have been the initial intended target, but Lewis came across and reached out. And I don't know who the intended receiver was, but 2 on top of each other is not likely by design. 3 receivers to the top. Doyle Marshall in the backfield. He steps up the block. Soij is going to take another shot. Sails one. Oh, and he climbs the ladder. Darius France just climbs the ladder. Fingertip catch. If that ball was driven on his receiver, Darius France had a ton of room. He could have spun out of that, and with his ability to run, he could have found his way through the to the end zone, because that was he probably had at least 7 or 8 yards of space all across. That being said, it was a great catch. First down now for the Saints at the 48-yard line of the Skyhawks. Three receivers to the quarterback's left. Pistol set. Shotgun snap comes, looks left, comes back to the middle, doesn't like what he sees, scrambles out to left, decides, okay, here, athleticism, and he makes first contact at around the 27-yard line, and then he is tackled and brought down, but the containment isn't there. The offensive line did a good job allowing Soja to come off 2 or 3 reads, and then he scrambles. Just his body type, just his size, just the way he looks. He reminds me a lot. Well, when you're down in Windsor, most of us down here are Michigan fans in the college, so we really didn't like Terrell Pryor. That being said, he does remind me of that. Long, lean, athletic. Snap looks, going to do that little smoke screen to Lewis, and now he's got some blockers out in front, makes 2 men miss, cuts across the grain, and still on his feet as he breaks more tackles before he's dragged down at the 10-yard line in what amounts to be about a 16-yard catch and run, and just outside the 10-yard line, so I believe they're not going to be and goal, but we'll see where they officially put this thing here, if they can pull those chains tight. Yeah, it's going to be at the 11-yard line, and you're going to have a 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. They break the huddle. 3 receivers to the quarterback's left, Doyle Marshall in the backfield in the pistol set. Quarterback drops back and has a receiver inside by himself. That's number 14, Tristan Rutherford. And I don't know, I thought that was a good throw. I thought he was leading him right to the end zone, and it just looked like Rutherford just, I don't know, maybe slowed down a fraction. That should have been a catch and a sort of walk-in, turn into the end zone. And I'm not sure if he was just maybe a little anxious coming across the middle like that clothesline area, right? Sometimes you're just not sure if linebackers are around you. Either way, we have 2nd and 10. Once again, Doyle Marshall, the lone back. Soja looks left, stays left. Now has to come off of it, a little bit of pressure there. He steps up into the pocket, and he picks up about 3 yards. Good job again. They were trying to look like Lewis on a corner route, and once again, well covered. Did not have anyone in the secondary to throw to, and ultimately he's going to bring up a 3rd down and a full 7 yards from the 8-yard line, and it looks like Coach LaChance is going to play the percentages here, and I say percentages given the field conditions. Yeah, you can take the 3. You don't get this, there's a good chance if your defense holds, you're getting 2 points on the safety. So you're not necessarily leaving points out there if you trust your defense. So you're going to try to put the major out. Soja rolls out to his left, he bobbles the snap, and then Doyle Marshall just picks it up, and sure enough, he just finds his way into the end zone. Now that did look like it was a designed run to the left. Maybe the quarterback had the option to roll out and continue to throw if he had somebody there. But he mishandled the snap, pushed it forward, and sure enough, Doyle Marshall just picks it up and says, I'll life my way through to the end zone. Thank you very much. And that extends the lead now to 22-0 with the ensuing kick here, with 6:45 left in the opening half. Kick is up and no good.
I wish all of our viewers right now.
And we'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of everyone here at We Digital, wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. The entire team here wishes you and your families nothing but the best as we enter into this fall season. And once again, happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much. I know I'm going to try not to, but my mom cooks for 40 when there's about a dozen of us coming over. So, Ma, love ya, but try to keep it within the waistline, if you will. But again, happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at We Digital. So we have the 6:45. Both teams are just trying to work through this last game of the year. I know it's hard sometimes to remain focused if you're the team that is out of the playoffs, and sometimes it's equally as hard for the team that is in the playoffs, knowing full well there's nothing to necessarily play for from a positional standpoint. You're locked in, you're the home seed. But you still have to, on these plays particularly, execute on the special teams here. So Preston Knight drove his last kickoff exceptionally deep. This time the return men absolutely pushed themselves back. They're set inside their own 10-yard line. We'll see if he can drive this one once again. And yeah, he gets a good leg into this. The return man catches the ball around the 5-yard line, has a little bit of running room, and he finds his way across and runs into his own man. If he didn't run into his own man, I would have suspected he probably could have got around to at least the 30-yard line, but the collision into his own player ends up forcing him to sort of fall backwards. And now it is scrimmaging at the 20-yard line, left hash, 6:38 left, down 22-0 after the missed extra point. And that's another thing that's going to drive some of these coaches crazy. You got special teams coaches who are going to be looking at that and say, Coach Green's going to be like, extra points, unacceptable. It's just like 3rd and 1. You have to convert every one of those. Extra points have to be converted every single time at that level. And once again, you have Anderson, number 7, taking his crew to the line of scrimmage. They have a full box there. They're trying to drop people offside. They have a twin set. Motion a wing across, give it to the new running back. No, they actually fake this time, and they try a little bit of a read option. The offensive linemen all surged out on the inside run, but the quarterback opted to pull it, and there was just a miscommunication with his intended target, and that looked like it was number 13 for the visitors, and his name is Nick Zighetti, and they just couldn't sit down on it. And again, according to my depth chart, I have a different quarterback in play, so maybe the chemistry just isn't there from what would have been the original starter. But I like the design there because the receiver was one-on-one, and if you had it on him, he might have been able to find something out of that. Again, 2nd and 10. Little inside zone running play, new running back bounces off a tackler, and at one point looked like he was going to escape and work his way for a first down, but a saving tackle by linebacker number 44, and that's Nick Trifon, who shoestring tackled and limited that to a 3-yard gain because the ball carrier was initially contacted behind the line of scrimmage, and we do have another player down right now for the visitors. Looks like one of the big boys up front. And fortunately, it seems like he's coming up on his own power. The way he's sort of reaching, maybe he got landed hard on a hip. Sometimes you get somebody falls on you, a knee to the back, and you just get those knifing spasms. I've been in the bottom of those piles, and it's never fun. Never fun as an offensive lineman in the trenches. Bodies fall and line on you, and now turf just makes it a little harder. There's not as much give. Nonetheless, you have Quinte and Good set to punt, with the kicker Good set at his own 10-yard line. 3rd and 7. 5:24 and counting in the opening half. Return men for the Saints set right around the midfield stripe. You have Calhoun and Rutherford. Kick towards Rutherford, who works away, and it's actually Calhoun who comes across him to pick it up as he works up the right sideline, crosses the 40 right around to the 35-yard line. We'll just get that official spot as the Saints offense works its way on the field, and once again we have the quarterback alternating series, so it's Matthew Gannett coming out right now, and you're going to have a 1st down and 10 at the 35-yard line right hash. So projecting forward, just a little information from a conference perspective. Semifinal matchups are set. You have the number 1 seed. The St. Clair Saints are going to be hosting the Ottawa Sooners next Saturday, and it'll be presented to you here at 7 p.m. Against them. We Digital will have that broadcast for you, and last time Ottawa was here, boy, was it a barn burner. A 2-point game went right down to the last wire. Fun game to call, fun game to play, as you see a different running back that looks like Boris Wright finding his way for about a 4 or 5 yard gain, and Boris Wright might be listed at, and I'm going to get you his numbers because he definitely plays a lot bigger than that. I have him listed at 5'6", 160. He plays like he's 6'2", 220. He just runs with just the determination and strength. And then just to give you an update on the second matchup, you're going to have the Hamilton Hurricanes, who are the 3 seed, traveling to London. in that semifinal matchup. And the two winners in 2 weeks' time will meet up. Quinte looks, he has a crosser, he has a ute, hits him in the hands, maybe a little high, but it just hit him in the hands. And we've seen NZU Ute make that play several times throughout the season. He had some room to catch and run as well, but we do have a third down situation. Quarterback is going to get the call in. They are going for it. And we have some confusion here. The coach from Quinte is just asking the referee for some explanation. We have a timeout from Quinte. Okay, so now that's it. He maybe just didn't like his personnel, didn't realize that they were going to go for it here. Not 100% sure. Again, the kicking struggles have been real for the Saints. That is something that has been not the most consistent. They're not their kickoff, not their punt team, but primarily their field goal and PATs. Has just been some concern. And I'm not 100% sure, like, if there's a fix in season. Sometimes this is what you have to deal with, and they're going to work through it. Because sometimes I see the connection, and Preston Knight kicks it, and it looks great. It looks like he can make them from 45. And then other times, just not so good. Either way, we got Quinte going for it on third down, and he has Javé Lewis running up the seam. He makes the catch, and he has the first down as they're just trying to scramble and strip that ball out. But it looks like we have a first down and goal from the 5-yard line, as Lewis was wide open right away. Quinte did a good job of getting that ball out quickly, got it on him, and they usually sure-handed. Has a couple of drops today, but he did do a good job of securing it, despite the fact that it looked like it was number 11, Good, the DB kicker, was trying to strip that out. So 3:34 and counting in the opening half here at Acumen Stadium. First and goal, 4-yard line. 3 receivers to the quarterback's right. Offset eye in the pistol. Quarterback looks to the right, and he just has a sit route. Just a simple little Darius France. They run a little B-seam curl. Darius France sits. If the corner stays high, you probably dump that off underneath, and that's exactly what happened. A simple little pitch and catch. And that is a simple touchdown catch for Darius France. Maybe his easiest one of the year. He's had a lot of nice contested plays, nice catches and runs. This one was just right on the target, simple to the point, and let's see if they can execute this extra point here. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and kick is good this time, extending the lead to 29-0 with 3:13 left in the opening half of the Ontario Football Conference finale between regular season finale between the Quinte Skyhawks and the home St. Clair Saints. And if you weren't with us from the get-go, this game was supposed to be played as the season opener rather than the season finale. Quinte was unable to field their team that opening week. They got off to a 2-0 start, beating GTA both weeks consecutively, and now they've fallen into a 5-game skid, and they find themselves on the back end here against the perennial powerhouse Saints, as the kickoff goes deep, is mishandled, picked up at the 1-yard line, and now it's just a scramble play. He's just trying to find his way, and he ran about 20-yard line, 20 yards sideways, and then he's tackled at the 4-yard line, picked up maybe 2 yards. And with 3:04 left here, if they don't get out of the shadow of their own goalpost, they'll probably concede the safety, and there's plenty of time for the Saints to even add one more on, as Quinte has used one of their timeouts, but the Saints do indeed have both of their timeouts. Ball officially marked at the 5-yard line. Ready for play about to be called in. This will be the final play before the 3-minute warning, as we are now under 3 minutes with 15 seconds left on the play clock. And again, Quinte comes out with 7 men at or near the line of scrimmage, 2 receivers to the quarterback's right, single back, set in a pistol. And they hand the ball off to that single back. And that looks like it's Beal once again who pushes his way forward for a 5-yard gain. And that is indeed the case. 2nd down and 5 for the Skyhawks. And we're about to get the 3-minute warning as the officials are telling each bench, hey, you got 1 timeout, Quinte. Saints, you got 2 timeouts. 3-minute warning officially blown in. 2nd and 5. Snap, inside read. It looked like he had the option to pull it if he wanted, but he did not, and he knifes forward. Beal once again pushing his way forward for about 3 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2. And we do have some substitutions in here, so we have a punting situation for the visitors. Again, I would suspect they'll give up the safety, but you know what? Maybe you do want to get these coverage guys some practice. And we have a timeout by Quinte. Maybe the coaching staff is just reassessing the situation. They're saying, we're going to give up 2 points here. We're going to give them field position again. We're going to give them time. Let's see if we can get out of this. Put it on the O-line. I don't mind this call. I know you're at your own, 14-yard line. Give your guys a chance to compete. And I think the coach has shown his guys, hey, you guys come out here. We drove all this way here. Go get it. Go try and earn it. The outcome of this game does not have any bearing on what's going on, and he's just letting his guys who did make the trip down here try to get that 1st down. So now Anderson gets under center. They're just going to push forward. They push the pile across the 15-yard line, and they do get the 1st down. And that's good on him to give his players that opportunity. Why just give up points? Why? That you're competing. All for that. And now you have a 1st down and 10 from the 17-yard line, and if you get one more 1st down, there's a good chance at the very least you can run out this quarter as the ready for play has been signaled, and we're approaching the 2 minutes left in this opening half. 29-0 for the home Saints. Exact same formation as we've seen most of the game. 7 men in the box. They motion across a receiver here. High snap and tipped into the running back's hands. Beal fortunately at least gathered that in. However, because of the high snap and because he had to wait for the thing to come down, it amounts to a 2-yard loss. And now you're behind the chains once again into a very strong wind. Left hash, 152, blown in. Two receivers to the quarterback's right. Double tight formation. Running back flares out, tries to get it to him. I stand corrected. He flared that out and over. And looks like we have an interception. That's number 9, Nathaniel Norton, who comes down with that pick. And I thought initially he was going to throw that out to the running back who was doing a flare, but the receiver was doing a little bit of a curl route. And that ball is, again, intercepted by Nathaniel Norton, who I believe Nathaniel Norton was coming off a Defensive Player of the Week from his performance. He had a couple interceptions and a forced fumble, and he adds to his total. An All-Canadian from last year, and he's just adding to his resume. And the son of Stacey Norton, coach on the defensive squad for the Saints. And Soija, once again, alternating quarterbacks. 3 receivers to his left, 130 left. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Flare out to Rutherford, has some blockers, and it looks like it's a sprint to the corner of the end zone. And sure enough, he works his way into the corner of the end zone for a touchdown on a simple little bubble screen. And the touchdown's going to stand, and that extends the lead to 35-0. with a minute 22 left, and they're going to get these mechanics down for the extra point. And that was a quick strike score right after the turnover. A little bubble screen resulting in a touchdown. Now, the defense has been on the field an awful lot into this wind here, so that's just making it a little harder to compete when you're just getting gas because the offense has been unable to sustain anything. And you get a block here. And again, concerns with the extra point. This is something that's going to happen. Number 9 came in and made a nice knifing play, and that is Colby Dowdle, who knifed through. Protection has been a problem on the field goals and the extra points. The snap / hold / kick has been something a part of the equation all season long. And now the protection breakdown. Coach Green just is not going to be happy when he's watching this film here, and he's just going to be looking at this saying, we can't do that. If indeed you do that against Ottawa, we saw last time, 2-point game. Every point's going to matter. Ottawa's not going to come here and lay down and just give it to you. And should you get by Ottawa and you have to play a London team, because I believe London and the Saints are the 2 top teams, London's not going to give it to you either. Every point's going to matter there too. Deep kick. Preston gets it, sends it off around the 15, but the return man now is working up the right hash trying to find his way. He gathers across the 25-yard line and is run out of bounds at around the 28-yard line. So a little better field position as he officially steps out at the 30-yard line. And that's number 13, Nick Zighetti, who crosses, and he caught that on the left hash and worked all the way across the formation for about a 17-yard return. Ran about 35 yards for that. Minute 12, no timeouts for Quinte. Into the wind, down 35 in this opening half of the regular season finale for both these teams. A twin set to the left of the quarterback with a wing back sitting right there. High snap, looks like a quarterback run all the way as Anderson pushes his way forward to the 36-yard line, excuse me. So it's going to be 2nd down and 4. You saw the ball maybe come out late, but the whistle had already blown, knee down, and the ball bounced out after he was already on his backside. 2nd down and 4. Twins to the left with a wing back set there, single back in the backfield. Quarterback run again, pushes his way forward with a little assistance from the O-line. It looks like he gets himself awfully close to the 40. We'll see where they officially spot it. The near side judge has it just at the 39-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and less than a yard, but we do have a Saint down on the field right now. So we have an injury timeout, 3rd and 1. The offense remaining on the field. 43 seconds left in the opening half. So, looks like they were stretching him out a little bit, and that's number 17 for the home team. Rudy Bukic, who comes off, he's walking gingerly. They were stretching something out, so I don't know if it's a hamstring, a groin. They just were flexing his legs back in and out. He does have a calf sleeve on, so we're not sure if that's related to the injury. But nonetheless, he walked under his own power, which is great. So now we have a 3rd down and 1. Anderson tucks under center. They wedge forward. Looks like the pile's pushing forward. He's still up on his feet as the pile crosses the 40-yard line and gets all the way to the 42-yard line. Just the old scrum there, and it is a 1st down. So barring anything crazy, the Saints won't get the ball back in this half with 33 seconds remaining. 38-0. See, that was just wrong. The main scoreboard had 38 for a split second. It is 35. That confused me for a second. Not sure why they had that up there, but nonetheless, 30 seconds and counting in this opening half. 1st and 10, 43-yard line. Inside run. It looks like Beal again, and he gets gobbled up at around the 44-yard line. He picks up about a yard and a half, and with 7 seconds left, I suspect that this is the final play of the first half, barring any defensive fouls.
So at halftime, just say we're going to take a break. We'll come back with the second half in a few minutes. There's going to be a scoreboard by the next half.
And as the clocks read 0, we have one final play of this half. Motion across, little fake jet sweep action to hand the ball off to Beal. He gets gobbled up for a 1.5-yard loss. And that is going to bring the half to a close. 35-0 for the St. Clair Saints. We are going to break for a half, and we will bring you full coverage of the second half after the 15-minute intermission. Thank you for tuning in to We Digital.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
Good evening, sir. Where are you coming from?
I was just at a buddy's watching a game.
Have you consumed any alcohol tonight?
I had a couple beers.
Thanks. Can I ask you to step out of the vehicle, please?
How many drinks does it take to impair your ability to drive safely? Having even just a few casual drinks can impair your driving ability to the point that you could lose your license for at least 3 days or more.
Hi, honey. Can you come pick me up?
Play it safe with alcohol. If you plan on drinking, don't plan on driving.
Every child should learn how to swim, for health, for safety, and for fun. That's why we've started Canada's Swim Team. Learn to swim at least 25 meters on your own, and you're on the team. Canada's Swim Team. It's that easy. Help make us the world's largest swim team by adding your name at getswimming.ca. Ask your parents first. Swimming, the only sport that can save your life.
Mont's On-Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On-Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On-Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAT, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On-Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On-Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms, we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their craft. These adjustments never sit on top. They're in championship rings. This is who we are.
Good evening, sir. Where are you coming from?
I was just at a buddy's watching the game.
Have you consumed any alcohol tonight?
I had a couple beers.
Thanks. Can I ask you to step out of the vehicle, please?
How many drinks does it take to impair your ability to drive safely? Having even just a few casual drinks can impair your driving ability to the point that you could lose your license for at least 3 days or more.
Hi, honey. Can you come pick me up?
Play it safe with alcohol. If you plan on drinking, don't plan on driving.
Every child should learn how to swim for health, for safety, and for fun. That's why we've started Canada's Swim Team. Learn to swim at least 25 meters on your own, and you're on the team. Canada's Swim Team. It's that easy. Help make us the world's largest swim team by adding your name at getswimming.ca. Ask your parents first. Swimming, the only sport that can save your life.
On-Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On-Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On-Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAP, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On-Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On-Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. When things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
between the home St. Clair Saints, who hold a 35-0 lead against the visitors, Quinte Skyhawks. Happy Thanksgiving on this cold Saturday night of Thanksgiving weekend here in Windsor, Ontario. We are proud to present here from We Digital the last game of the regular season and hopefully a couple more games as we progress. Quick little update, next Saturday night you will find us here at Acumen Stadium for a 7 p.m. kick as the Ottawa Sooners are going to come down here and play in the semifinal. The Quinte Skyhawks are going to get the kick to start the second half as it was a short kick into the wind, bouncing around. The return man can't pick up a number quite yet right now, but he gets hit and gobbled up, and it looks like we do have an injured player as the ball is probably going to be scrimmaged right around the 35-yard line. And in that opening kick, you saw just the wind just eats things up right now. It has picked up significantly. We had record weather. There were days of suntan type weather this week here in Windsor, Ontario, where it reached, I think on Tuesday, it might have been something like 86 Fahrenheit. Well, again, if you're from elsewhere, you might need a Celsius reading, but I still have a little bit of the American temperature readings around here, and we do have the injured player, and it looks like they're looking at a lower body. I can't tell quite the number right now. Well, he's moving his leg, so that's obviously a good sign. We do have some extremities, so always there'll be extra precaution to see if there's anything head or neck related, and it looks like he's under his own power, which is great. And that is number 10 for the Skyhawks, and we have Landon Emery, and it's great to see that he's able to jog off on his own. I'll be giving you some stats of the opening half as this opening series for Quinte starts off. They struggled to get any real offense going. They had 3 first downs, 25 total rush yards as they bobble this opening snap here, and that turns out to be a 5-yard loss, and that is, their passing yards are only 4. And they struggle, and again, I'm suspecting because their number 1 quarterback might not be here because the depth chart, at least on our roster standpoint, just does not have, it's number 8 listed, but the number 7 is playing. On my chart, number 7 is listed technically as a defensive back. That being said, the leading rusher is indeed Anderson and Beal, both with 11 yards in the first half. On the Saints side, they were able to get some balance, a little bit of passing and running, about 143 on the ground versus 167 in the air. We do have a flag on the field here, so a procedural call. So it's going to back up Quinte a little bit further. So it's going to be a second down and about 20 yards now to go. The Saints did amass 18 first downs. They were able to control the line of scrimmage for the most part on both sides. They did not give up any sacks. The total yardage turned into be, the penalty yardage, 3 penalties for Quinte for 14 yards and 5 penalties against the Saints for 34 yards. So a relatively clean game from a penalty perspective. Only 1 major foul. I believe there was the low block, as Beal looks like he knifes forward for about 6 or 7 yards, and the punt team's going to come forward and send one off with the wind. Now, with the score being what it is, I would suspect we're probably going to see a number of the starters not necessarily playing in the second half. Anyone nursing an injury for the Saints probably will find themselves maybe getting 1 series in this third quarter, as they are going to try to prepare for a deep playoff run. Number 11, good set at his own 15-yard line. A little bit of a high snap. He gets it off. Left-footed boot, sails this thing to Calhoun. Calhoun picks it up at around the 46-yard line, his own 46, before he's upended at around the Skyhawk 53, 52-yard line, and that's where the Saints will scrimmage, and it is Gannett who's going to bring them out for the opening drive of the second half.
And the Saints with their first offense.
And the offense is just counting, making sure they got all the personnel in there. And they're looking like we need one more. And there we go. We got a new receiver in. So that's it. They are rolling in some bodies, so you will see that sometimes from a personnel standpoint. They're not going to have everyone who's normally out there. I already see that a few of the normal Burmaster and France isn't in there. Yayut gets it on a quick hitch. Good block from the outside from Javé Lewis, and then they work their way up the field, and Yayut crosses the 40-yard line to the 39-yard line. And a quick hitch results in a 14-yard gain, and the Saints are now at the 39-yard line going in 1st and 10. Gannett's stats for the opening half read: a 4 for 7, 97 yards with a long of 54 and 2 touchdowns, and he also had 2 carries for 16 yards. In the backfield for the Saints is number 36, and that is Gage Blasco. A little bit of a high snap, inside run to Blasco, who cuts across the gray, knifes forward, makes a nice little spin move, crosses the 35-yard line to the 33-yard line, and he's going to have approximately a 7-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3.
Gage Blasco with the ball this time, up to the 33-yard line.
The Saints are working into the wind for this quarter, so they will have the benefit of the wind for the 4th and final quarter of this regular season finale. 3 receivers to Gannett's left, Blasco in the backfield with him. He empties, looks left, a quick little hitch to Javé Lewis, who gets 1 block, works up the left sideline. Looks like he has 1 man to beat to get to the left corner, and he does indeed power through that and finds his way to the end zone, and we'll see if he's just short. And it looks like they've marked him just short of the end zone. And that's it. They open up with the first play of the game, a similar one to Yayut, of the half, and now they come right back to it to the other side. And now you're going to have a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. And it looks like the Saints have brought in some bigger personnel in there, maybe get into a quarterback sneak or just an inside power run, as it looks like Dante McPhail, number 34, replaces one of the receivers, so they put a fullback on the field with Gage Blasco in the backfield. Will go under center with what is a wing set. 1 tight, inside run, and Blasco gets to the goal line, knifes forward, is met by 2 defenders, but the ball crossed the plane, and you have an opening score for their first drive of the 3rd quarter as the Saints extend their lead to 41 with the ensuing extra point to be kicked. So the path for the Ontario Football Conference for the playoffs moving forward, the picture is quite clear. Number 1 seed, St. Clair Saints. Number 2 seed, the London Beefeaters. The number 3 seed, the Hamilton Hurricanes. And number 4 seed, the Ottawa Sooners. The extra point is good, extending it to 42-0 with 10:18 left. You will find that the London Beefeaters will host Hamilton next weekend, and the Ottawa Sooners come here to play. The 2 winners will play 2 weeks from this evening, whether it's on the Saturday or the Sunday is yet to be determined. It can be on one of those 2 days depending on location and field availability type things. That being said, the Ontario Football Conference champion this year, should they, whoever makes it, they will have to go on the road twice if they are going to work their way through the national playoffs. I believe the Ontario Football Conference will go to the Prairie Conference for the national semifinal. The BC Conference is going to be the conference that is indeed the host of the national final, and it's the Okanagan Sun who are the defending champions, and they are the ones that are going to, that conference, the champion is going to host. So the winner of the OFC goes to the Prairies, the winner of the national semi will go to the BCFC. And the Saints right now are ranked 3rd, I believe, in the latest rankings, with the Beefeaters 5th. And a wind hangs up the the kick, and the kick gets bouncing around, and sure enough, a fortunate bounce right into the hands of number 28, Nick Biani, and he finds his way into the end zone after the ball, and it's a live ball on any kicks. And just a fortunate bounce, unfortunate for Quinte. The ball is kicked to the sidelines, and it's not an onside kick, so Wind is just eating that thing up. When the returnman was unable to get it, it took a favorable bounce in the direction of the Saints, and sure enough, picks it up, and there's nothing left behind him as he runs up the field, and now it's 48-0 with this ensuing kick. Just crazy bounce there. The wind heavily factored in. Extra point is up. Extra point is good, extending this lead to 49-0. So the Saints have indeed scored 7 touchdowns. They've converted 5 of those on extra points, and they were conceded a safety from the visitors. And now we'll have another kick, and I would suspect that every single personnel from the Quinte Skyhawks are going to have to move up significantly. This wind has picked up quite a bit since the start of the game. Once the sun dipped down completely, it is 100% a major factor. And Preston Knight setting this ball up here. Excuse me, it's number 82 who is here to set this kick. And that looks like it is Connor Plumstead, who now kicks and drives it, and the ball is again short, but this time fielded cleanly in the air at around the 25-yard line before he's met at the 35-36-yard line on contact. Good job at least running underneath that kick and catching it in the air, not giving it an opportunity for any crazy bounces. And the Quinte Skyhawks, with 10:05 left in the third quarter, will get the scrimmage at the 36-yard line. And just from my eyesight here, it looks like a mix of half and half starters and what would be probably some depth players on the defense right now. Again, Quinte only traveled with 30, so you're not going to see too many changes or substitutions from them. 2 receivers to the left, the wing back in motion, fake underneath. The quarterback's going to throw a little out, and he completes it to his receiver on the outside, who fights the initial contact and crosses the 45-yard line to the 47-yard line, which amounts to a first down, and Quinte Skyhawks get their second completion of the game. And again, ball set at the right hash, first and 10, 47-yard line. 2 receivers to the quarterback's left. A shotgun snap, quarterback designed run all the way as Anderson works his way forward for about 2 yards before he's met by a couple Saints, and he only picks up 2 yards as he approached the midfield paint. The ball will be spot right on the S of the Saints logo, 48-yard line. Second down and around 8. And yet, not a deep shot to be had today. I haven't really seen them. Now, he hasn't had much time, and based on the personnel in the set here, I'm not sure if the quarterback is capable of necessarily taking a deep shot, but nonetheless, if they're going to take one, this is the opportunity with the wind. High snap. They're going to now take one a little bit deeper. They do stretch it, just a hook route on the outside. Quarterback gets it out to his receiver, number 13, who crosses midfield and gets a first down, and that is completed to Nick Zaghetti, and that's been his most targeted player. And now that gets them a first down in the Saints territory at the 51-yard line going in as we approach halfway through this third quarter. Two receivers to the left, wing back offset to the right, motion across from Zaghetti. Fake the jet sweep underneath, hand the ball off to Beal once again, who powers his way forward across the 45-yard line to the 44-yard line, bringing up a second down and about 3. So now we're going to have 2 down territory, I suspect. They're not going to be punting at this point here. Going to try to put a major up on the board. Nice little drive here going. They've got a couple first downs. Nice little mix of pass and run. They've got more yardage in the air and more completions than they had the entire first half. Beal in the backfield. 2 receivers left, double tight. And they give the inside run, and he pushes forward to what appears to be a first down. And Anderson did extend that. Looked like he had the option to pull it if he wanted to, but he didn't need to. His running back was able to find it. And now Coach Morency says, okay, we've seen enough. We're going to get a full change up front, 4 in, 4 out, and he wants to maybe put a little bit of a stall on this first down play. Get them behind the chains on first down, maybe make them a little bit more one-dimensional. All right, 2 receivers left, wing back left, tight end on the field. Anderson calling for the snap. Motion across, a little bit high again. Fakes and options over to number 37, who finds the edge and is able to get around the corner before he's forced out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. And that is Jacoby Dillon, who took the option pitch from Anderson. And they're going to officially scrimmage that at the 33-yard line. And it's going to be a second down and 2 after the 8-yard gain. 49-0, 6 minutes left. Quarterback coming back to the huddle, ready for play, is now blown in. Ten seconds left on the play clock, and they're still not at the line of scrimmage here, so they're going to have to hustle up and get this snap as we're at 5, 4. Anderson calling for the snap, gets it. Another high snap, looked like a designed run, and this time he just finds his way through despite the high run. Gets across the 30-yard line, barely across the 30, but enough. He needed the 20, the 31, and he got the 30-yard line, so that's a first down. As Anderson just comes up a little bit shaken. And I don't know if he's wobbly or winded, but he went down to a knee under his own power. And that is their quarterback. So he did go down under his own power, and I didn't notice if he was stumbling or wobbling. Sometimes when you get thrown into the turf and you're the primary ball carrier, the ball acts as just a hammer and knocks the wind out of you. So I'm hoping for his sake that's the case as he hands the wristband off. And once I can see a number, I'll get you a number. It is either 8 or 9. It looked like a single digit. As they call the play here, it does appear to be number 8, who is listed as a quarterback on the depth chart. 2 receivers to his left. The snap comes, inside handoff, and he fakes, and he pulls it out on the little bit of an option read to number 19, who works his way up the sideline, across the 10-yard line, all the way down to the 3-yard line. A nice little inside run play action, and that is Patrick Anderson, who pulled that ball out and threw it to Isaiah Lockwood. And Isaiah Lockwood, I believe that's his second reception of the game, and that gets them and goal from the 3-yard line. 4:30 and counting. And now Anderson gets the call from the sideline, and they're going to allow him an opportunity to get to the huddle. It's blown in, so the play clock will wind in right now. First and goal, right hash, 3-yard line. Beal in the backfield behind Anderson. Inside run, he keeps it and throws a little flare out, and that's well defended in this case as it's batted down. They went right back to a similar concept as they fake the inside, and Anderson just gets that batted down. Little bit thrown to the inside, maybe to the outside. It gives his receiver a better chance to defend and box out. You never want to have that ball thrown late to the inside, because that's when a DB can just jump that and take that 100 and some odd yards the other way. Second and goal, 3:45 and counting in this quarter. Two receivers out left, a wing back to the right, one running back offset to the quarterback's right. Quarterback leaks out, low snap, and he now just has no choice but to heave it and chuck it and flare it out. And it looks like he was tackled just short of the line of the end zone. It's at the 1 yard line. So good job by Anderson actually handling the ball that was on the turf, and he sidearmed and slung it out to his receiver. And I think that was the running back who initially got that. I couldn't quite get that number, but nonetheless, you're going to have it a third and goal at the 1 yard line. And you know the Saints defenders who are out there want to preserve this shutout. Now they bunch together. Anderson gets under center, gathering they're going to wedge forward, and no push. It does not look like he got there. He's being held up. So that is indeed the case. The push just was not there from the interior, and now the defense and the crowd who is still here is cheering as they goal line stand. 3 cracks from the 3 yard line in, and at the 1 yard line we're not able to wedge forward. A little bit of disappointment from a couple of the old linemen on the Skyhawks sideline. They're just angry they couldn't pound that one in here, so now the offense is going to come out, and they're going to now have the ball at the 1 yard line and try to operate into this wind here. And as the quarterback carousel continues, they just rotate in, and it's not a bad carousel, if you will, because both quarterbacks have the opportunity to, all year long, get their reps and get their play. So it looks like we have Maurice Soja getting the play call, as the Saints did call a timeout. They're just hammering out the personnel right now. At 49-0, you're not wasting any timeouts. They definitely have some new personnel in there, and they're trying to hammer out who they want in or who's supposed to be in, as Coach LaChance just waits to get the right personnel in, and he gives Soja the play call. And you see Maurice Soja just running into the field of play, and now we're going to get a 1st and 10 from the 1 yard line. 2:33 remaining in the third quarter of the season finale for both teams. 49-0 Saints. Under center, I backfield. Turning the hand the ball off on an inside run, and that looks like it's number 11 for the visitor, for the home team.
And off right up the left side. Makes it up to the 4 yard line.
And according to mine, I might have misread the number. I can't quite tell from my vantage point. I'll correct that up once I get it. Oh, excuse me, that's number 18 with the ball carrier, and that's Nathaniel Tuxuwich, and he does pick up 2 yards there. They give it right back to him as he works up the right sideline, breaks a tackle, finds his way around across the 15-yard line before he's wrapped up for the tackle. And he got twisted up a little bit, so he's still down on the field right now, but he does get up under his own power, and that gives them a much-needed first down, as they now don't have to punt from their deep in their own end zone, because I know that Coach Renzi would not have been okay with conceding a safety if they had to punt from their own end zone. Now the offense has a little bit of breathing room to try to finish out this quarter and give themselves an opportunity to get out of the shadows of their own goalposts and then have the wind eventually should they have to punt. Wing set, one tight, eye in the backfield, under center, inside run once again, similar concept, and that's number 34 who works his way up that right sideline, crossing the 30 to the 33-yard line, and that is Dante McPhail picking up chunk yards there, about 15 on that carry. First and 10, 33-yard line, 40 seconds left and counting in this third quarter. And there's at least 3 new offensive linemen, and at least by number I've recognized right now, so some backups getting some valuable play here. Shotgun, little offset eye, they run the option with Soyjin. He has a ton of running room, yet he fumbles the ball. That just squirted out of his hands on his own. The ball literally just squirted, and that's a couple times where the ball has squirted out of his hands. Not sure if this cold is affecting him, but the ball squirted out. He had at least 7 or 8 more yards running, and the ball just squirted out. And now the Quinte Skyhawks have one last chance with the win. Maybe they elect to take a shot over the top, as it looks like it's number 8, Patrick Anderson, coming back in to the offensive huddle. First and goal, right hash, last play of this third quarter. Quinte Skyhawks on the Saints side of the field. Jet sweep action, they fake inside to that jet sweep, and the quarterback holds it and goes around the right side on a quarterback keeper. He's sprinting to the far sideline. He's eventually pushed out inside the 10-yard line at around the 9-yard line. And that's how the first third quarter is going to finish, with a big run from the quarterback as they fake the jet sweep, fake the inside run, and quarterback keep it around the outside. And that is the end of the third quarter. 49-0 for the Saints, and goal coming for the visitors. And the whistle for ready to play has now been blown in, and now we do have yet another person at quarterback. It is number 13 who is now lined up under center, and that's the receiver that we've seen make a couple catches again. Jet sweep action, they're going to pitch it to Good, who is the punter slash defensive back, and it looked like on the far sideline on the last play of the third quarterback that Anderson, who was the ball carrier from the quarterback as he was driven out of bounds, lost his helmet, which means he has to go to the sideline, because when the helmet comes off, you have to go to the sideline. I believe it's for 3 plays, so he had to come out of the game. It looked like he walked to the sideline under his own power, but when the ball is jarred, that's indeed what happens. We did have a flag on the play, and they're going to decline that penalty and bring up a second and goal from the 10-yard line, as there was no gain there on the play. And again, it's Zaghetti at the quarterback, as both Andersons are now effectively out of the game, at least temporarily. Inside handoff, and once again that's Beal, and he gets a bottled up on contact, maybe gets a yard. So now it looks like we got some major substitutions. I don't know if this is a heavy set. Haven't seen anyone place a puck down to see if they're going to try to get the field goal, but it does appear that they're counting it out, and I do now see somebody in a position where they might very well try, and that is indeed the case. They're going to try to get this 0 off the board here, and that is number 11, Tegan Good. Snap is low, but the kick is up, but the kick was wide, no good. However, there was contact. It looks like somebody's down. The kicker was down. So is this going to be a roughing? Because there's multiple flags. So do we have roughing the kicker and potentially an offside? Because a side judge did throw a flag right away. We'll let the referees sort that out for us. But it does look like the Saints sideline assumes it's against them as defensive personnel are changing. Here's the call. So we do have roughing the kicker. And that is going to give the Quinte Skyhawks an opportunity to scrimmage from the 1 yard line and an and goal situation to try to get some points on the board as they are down 49-0 right now with 13:47 left in their season. And it does look like number 8, Anderson, is back on the field. And again, he probably just had to come off because the helmet came off. It did not look like he was injured in any way. And now they do pile forward, look like they're going to push forward in a quarterback sneak set, and it doesn't look like Anderson has it. He held him up once again. So that's 2 times they've tried that wedge forward, and the force unit for the St. Clair Saints has driven the quarterback back. So I would suggest maybe get out of that and do it in space. You've already seen that they're capable of using at least this Anderson's number 8 speed off the edge. Once again, he is under center. They look like they're piled forward. Going for the wedge once again, and this time he's driven back yet again. No indication, no surge. And we have a 3rd down. So 3 times to the well now in the last probably 8 or 9 plays, and now we do have a Skyhawk down, face down on the belly, looks like a bigger body, so I would suspect one of the linemen. He's kicking his right leg on the turf, so that's always a good sign when you at least know that they're moving their feet, so that's a good thing for us. A little bit of a questionable call there. They've not really had success on quarterback sneaks thus far. They've tried it a handful of times so far this game. Again, 3 of the last handful of plays have been that, and just no push inside. You can go for it all you want, but maybe spread them out just a little bit, and then maybe try a quarterback sneak. Put 5 receivers, or at least widen out your receivers. Either way, you would expect to get it. Me being an O-line coach, me being an O-line guy, I never ever want to say you shouldn't quarterback sneak. I mean, you should have that in. I'm a little sort of disappointed in myself. My high school team, we've been in more of a shotgun this year and have not really wedged forward yet, and it's unacceptable at any level not to get 1 yard in Canada. So I got to be better at it. Quinte has to be better at it. Got to do a little bit better job of pushing forward. Nonetheless, here's where it's at. They're trying to break this shutout. The Saints are trying to keep that 0 on that scoreboard, 12:37. 4th quarter, 49-0 Saints, and they want to keep that nothing on the board. Now they're in the shotgun. Tight end on the field. 2 receivers wide. A wing back to the quarterback's right. And Beal in the backfield. Motion across, hand the ball off to Beal. Nope, fake it, and they flare outside, and they pitch it to what looks like the motion back who came across, and they do indeed get that touchdown, and they break the shutout, and it looks like that's Lockwood who came down with that ball. So that's been sort of a little bit of their success in this half. They fake the run, they have some motion across, they jump inside, obviously, good sell of the fake, and they flip it out to the receiver who motioned across as he faked the little kick-out block. And now they have the 6 points they wanted up on the board, breaking that shutout for the home team. And now you have Good, who's going to try the extra point. Good snap, good hold, good kick. Extra point is good. 12-24, 49-7. On a cold Saturday night here at Acumen Stadium. Proud coverage brought to you by Weed Digital. And once again, there will be yet another broadcast definitely next week. 7 p.m. kick, Saturday night, October 14th. The Ottawa Sooners, the St. Clair Saints, OFC, Ontario Football Conference semifinal action. And again, if you joined us a few weeks ago, that the Ottawa Sooners came down and absolutely barn burner here. Both teams played. It was literally a score game the entire time. The Ottawa kicker, I believe, had 2 50-yard field goals in that game. Just a tremendous atmosphere here. Both teams battled to the end. 28-26, if I'm not mistaken, was the final. Just wild, right to the wire. And I suspect Ottawa's going to come down thinking we have a chance. All right, so the Saints return team here. Now, they've moved up a little bit. Obviously, they don't want what happened in favor of them to happen against them if this ball does come up short. And Good drives one sideways as it kicks and turns and falls out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So we're going to get an illegal procedure on a kick out of bounds, and the Saints will scrimmage at the 40-yard line. And we'll see which quarterback comes in this time, and it is indeed the third-string quarterback this time. Number 12 is coming in, and that is Owen Malott Bennett. So the night is over for the 1A, 1B combo of Soija and Gannett. And again, I see at least 3 new numbers on the offensive line. I haven't seen Darius France this entire half. He looks like he has his shoulder pads off. I haven't seen Burmaster in the game. I clearly see he's already out of his uniform. So a number of their starting receivers are already out of the game. New quarterback in, different crew of ball carriers. But hey, we got a big man rumbling big man, and as he piles through forward, that's number 34. And Dante McPhail finds his way across the 45-yard line all the way to the 43-yard line. Some nimble feet. If you are an NFL fan and you know anything about Jerome Bettis, this looks like a little bit of a Jerome Bettis body type, and he actually showed some of the nimbleness, if you will, of Jerome Bettis. That's a nice run by McPhail. 1st and 10, 43-yard line. Left hash. Just under 12 minutes left in the OFC finale for both of these teams. 3 receivers to the quarterback's right. Drops back, is going to throw that little hitch once again. And that little bubble smoke screen goes for about 4 yards this time, as it's number 87 on the reception, and that is Alex McClellan from Malott Bennett. 2nd down and 7, 40-yard line going in. Break the huddle, under center, eye set, trips to the left. Turn around, McPhail gets the ball on an inside zone running play, that little ISO as he breaks it around, and he has some room to run as he rumbles and powers over somebody at the 17-yard line. Gets brought down at around the 16, 15-yard line. And that is just, they're getting tired. You can just tell that the Quinte Skyhawks are getting tired. 30 guys brought at this level is not a lot of bodies, not a lot of depth. I'll give these players on the field for Quinte a lot of credit. I've not seen any quit in them. That's for absolute certainty. So I'll give credit to the coaching staff to ensure that these guys came and they battled. 49-7, approaching the 10-minute mark. Trips right, inside run to the fullback, and that's number 32, Pappin on the carry, and he gets bottled up for about a 3-yard gain.
He makes his way over 15. We're going to mark it to 13.
Second down 7. Left hash, 13-yard line. Pappin and McPhail in the backfield. Malott Bennett under center. Hand the ball off to McPhail, and he breaks the tackle in the backfield. Tries to work his way back to the left before he's bottled up at around the 8-yard line. And that's going to bring up a third down and about 2. And it looked like the final tackle was brought down by number 9, Colby Dowdle. The offense staying on the field here. Backups all across. I suspect you're going to see a fullback run. Just something simple, no trickery. Give the Quinte Skyhawks just a straightforward run. They stop them, they stop them. Again, Pappin, McPhail in the backfield. They give it to McPhail. He makes first contact in the backfield before he bounces off that and then just falls forward to the 5-yard line enough to get the first down. Initial contact was made and they would have had him for a loss, and it looked like it was number 66 who might have had the initial contact, but unfortunately Ben Levick was unable to bring back the, I'll give you the numbers, the 6', 240-pound running back, McPhail. A wing set, tight end to the right, backfield, and they run the little counter action, and in goes a walk-in touchdown for Dante McPhail. So that series, you saw off tackle, you saw inside run, you saw fullback run, just keeping it as straightforward with these backups as possible. You might wonder, well, why you're just running the ball. You got guys who've practiced all year long, guys who don't have a whole bunch of carries. Their starters aren't even in the game. Half of them have their pads off. They're just trying to work through here. Backup kicker here, backup holder here. Good kick, extending the lead to 56-7 with just about half of the quarter remaining with 7:48. And even on this kickoff, I can already sense that there's usually early in the first half, you're not going to get a bunch of different players on a kickoff coverage unit, but I can already tell there's at least 3 or 4 different players on this kickoff coverage unit, including the kicker. So the Saints are getting deep into their bench right now. And if I just look down right now, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers that are clearly identified as starters from our earlier first half broadcast, players who did indeed handle the ball. Gannett is out of uniform already. Burmaster's out of uniform already. France is out of uniform. Rutherford's out of uniform. A bunch of them are just sort of spectating, watching the last little bit. They're just protecting themselves for their playoff run. Nice little stutter and go there, as you see. This is number 13, who is their primary receiver, played some quarterback snap. Nick Zaghetti, who made a nice little stutter move to work his way up that right sideline and get to the 45-yard line. First and 10, right hash, 7:39 left in the season for the Quinte Skyhawks and in the regular season for your St. Clair Saints. And it is once again number 8, Patrick Anderson at quarterback. Double tight, 2 receivers left. Looks like a different running back. It is not Beal, and miscommunication as the wideout at the top of the screen was, 8 yards down the field as they were trying to do some sort of sugar motion, just sort of a little eye candy to get the defense to jump and the offense jump. We're going to back them up 5 yards and replay that first down and 15 this time.
Onside, George Quinte.
And once again, just as we start wrapping up this game, a happy Thanksgiving to everyone from the team here at We Digital. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, be safe. Fake, inside run, they're taking a shot over the top. The wind hangs that up as Zaghetti was the shot they were going for, and good coverage, but we do have a flag in the backfield. Yeah, we have roughing the passer, and that's going to be an automatic first down regardless of the yards to gain. It was 15 exactly, so that would have gotten them it anyway, but the major foul is going to give them that automatic first down that goes with it. And that's what was missing early. They never did take the shot to really stretch them when they had the wind. And right now they threw that into the wind, and that's just, it's not going to work. Like, this is just too strong right now, way too strong of a wind. So with 6:40 and counting in this fourth quarter, you do get your first shot down the field, but a roughing the passer resets the ball at the midfield stripe for Quinte. 3 receivers wide left, fake inside. Now they're going up the seam once again, and it's Zaghetti, and this time he had a hand on it. And that was a tight window because there was 3 players of the opposite jersey color there, and it just unable to connect. So a little bit more of a down the field threat with Patrick Anderson. And he did not come in until number 7, Steven Anderson, was knocked out of the game. And again, I don't know what that was, whether it is a head injury or the wind was knocked out of him. He made a run, was tackled, got up, took a few steps, and then just went to a knee on his own. Inside run, pushing forward. Offensive line doing a good job of getting some surge, picking up a good 7-8 yards there. And that is number 10, Landon Emery, on the carry of 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 at the 53-yard line going in. Excuse me, the 47-8-yard line going in. Inside run, again, it's Emery who knifes his way forward. He needed to get right to the 45-yard line. It looks like the referees have this thing spotted down at the 46, so it's going to be a turnover on downs, but we do have another Skyhawk player down, and it is a turnover on downs as indicated by the head referee, Alex Jemmy.
Larry Rogers places the ball on the 36-yard line. And that is
With 4:55 remaining, 56-7 for St. Clair. They will improve their record to 8-0, another undefeated season in conference play, with the playoffs looming. Ottawa Sooners coming to town next Saturday night, October 14th, a 7 o'clock kick here in Windsor, Ontario at Acumen Stadium on the campus of the St. Clair College, and these Saints will do battle with Ottawa. Hamilton will travel the short trip to London to play the Beefeaters as the Hurricanes look to upset London in that other conference semifinal. And this time it looks like it's number 56 for the visitors. And Tomasz Kankam, who looks like he's just walking a little gingerly to the sideline, nursing what looks like a left leg limp. A little flare out screen to number 83 receiver for the Saints. And that is Ethan Evele who makes the catch. Second down and 5, ball at the 51-yard line. Shotgun, new backfield, fake the inside run, and they're going to try just that little flare screen once again, and just trying to pick up a few yards. And again, that is Ethan Evele, who works his way to around the midfield stripe, but he's going to be short at 3rd down and 1. And we got a Quinte Skyhawk player who is just down, and the trainers from the Saints came right to him immediately. They're not going to wait until the other team has to cross the field. And that is number 9 for the visitors. And that is Colby Dowdle, who is down. Looks like they're holding his shoulder. Nice to see he's able to go off on his own. 3rd down and 1. Clock is wound in. Malott Bennett looks like he's getting under center. Double tight set. And they're going to turn and hand the ball off to number 33 this time. Number 32. And that's Pappin, who has primarily played from the fullback spot. He lines up in the feature back set, and he gets that 1st down. And we're going to get to the 3-minute warning quite soon. Once they officially spot the ball, I'm assuming they will then blow in the 3-minute warning, which is indeed the case. They've wound that in. And I'm guessing with the clock going to continue to run as long as the ball stays on the ground here, we can probably get a few more plays, take some knees, and get out of here. As Malott Bennett is under center, turns and hands the ball off. Again, similar play just to Pappin on the outside as he gets twisted backwards a little bit, and you don't want to see those kind of tackles. Now, that was not a horse collar. Initiated contact across his chest, but it looked like his leg got caught underneath him, and he did indeed get twisted up a little bit. And that's, you don't want to see injuries on either team. Obviously, Quinte Skyhawks injuries will not impact next week. It is their season finale, and their season is over with their 2-6 record. Whereas this one here for Pappin, I would have to look at it a little more intimately at the full depth chart to see what he has in terms of a role on special teams or otherwise. But he immediately pointed at his right knee. and you hope it's not anything that's too serious, but you're on a quick turnaround. We got Thanksgiving on Monday. You're probably going to be light duty for the next couple days, and then you're going to have to amp up for 2 days of real good practice, because by Thursday you got to scale it back just a little bit and get ready for the playoff game. So they're helping him up. Let's hope for his sake it's just more of a scare than anything else. He's able to put some weight and of his own and walk off to the sideline, so let's hope that's all that is. 2:10 remaining, fourth quarter. We Digital presenting the Ontario Football Conference regular season finale for both these teams. St. Clair Saints up 56-7 over Quinte as they just run an inside handoff to number 18, Nathaniel Chiswicks, and I apologize if I'm saying that just a little bit off, as he resets the chains at the 29-yard line. And now we get the ready for play in as we're under a minute and a half. Pitch to the outside. A little bit of room for Boris Wright as he still gets stumbled backwards before he is taken down from his own squirtiness, if you will. He bounced off the tackle. We have a push in the rear from the Saints blockers, which effectively is going to negate that short gain and pull them back 10 yards and bring up a 1st and 20 with a minute remaining in this final quarter. Again, one last time, we invite all our viewers to tune in next Saturday night as the Ottawa Sooners will travel to Windsor to play the Saints October 14th, 7 p.m. here at Acumen Stadium in Ontario Football Conference semifinal action. Boris Wright gets a little counter action, has a little bit of speed, carries up the left hash, works his way across the 30-yard line to the 29-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and about 9. And with the clock now under 20 seconds, they can take this final play down to the buzzer. And we're going to end up with a 56-7 final, barring anything crazy happening. He now works his way under center, waiting for 9 seconds, and now there we have it, the kneel down. 56-0. Thank you for tuning in to Ontario Football Conference play on We Digital. My name is Padilla Kwa, signing off on this broadcast. We will see you next week here at Acumen Stadium for Ontario Football Conference semifinal action between the Ottawa Sooners and your St. Clair Saints. Thanks for tuning in. And a happy Thanksgiving once again from the entire team here at We Digital. You got it, bro.